Katana here, and I am officially back from Japan. Been back since Sunday. This is, of course, me finally catching up on sleep and everything, and being able to actually do this video. It's probably like the fifth time I've tried to do it because I was trying to do it last night, and I realized my camera was in the wrong setting, so it was at 4K, so it kept overheating because it's getting warmer now, so it's actually warm in here a little bit. So camera kept overheating. I was trying to do it a bunch, and then I was still tired, so it was just like, I'm gonna just do it tomorrow. Like I tried it a bunch of different times, and it was just like I'm tired still, catching up on sleep and everything. So I'm like, I'm just gonna just wait and do it tomorrow. Because the plan was to do this video and then get into all the reviews and stuff, but it just wasn't working last night. So fifth time doing this video. Feeling a lot better. I'm like, I caught up on some sleep. I actually slept until like noon, which was great because no work. Because when I got back like 8 o'clock at night on Sunday. I went to work the next day. I went to work on Monday. So I've actually worked like the whole week, and I was like, I'm gonna, just stay up super late, and that'll get me back on, schedule for going 13 hours backwards. And then it worked. I was just still a little bit tired, and it was hard for me to get sleep in the middle of the night. I would wake up in the middle of the night, and then it was just like I'm up for like an hour straight trying to get back to sleep. So a lot of random issues keeping me tired throughout the week, even though I was never technically jet lagged. It was just kept trying to catch up on like that little extra bit that I needed. But this video, as the title says, is not only me being back from Japan, but me going through the souvenirs that I got, and also giving like a bit of a tentative schedule for well, I shouldn't even say schedule, but tentative idea of what the videos are going to be like as far as the vlog stuff and all the footage that I got while I was in Japan. I can tell you guys now that the pictures will be on Instagram, which is of course Invisiblekatana, link in the description if you guys want to check it out. But the pictures will be doled out. I might be putting those pictures out for like months on end. I literally have over 1,000 pictures. I think I have like 2,000 pictures. So I'm still kind of going through the pictures to like be like, all right, well, I took this at the beginning of the trip, and this is at the end of the trip. But both these pictures relate to like random, Japanese snacks that I got. So I'm like grouping all the pictures together, looking at what's even a good picture and what's not a good picture, what's worth showing off, not worth showing off. So still going through those, but you can see like the first couple of posts. I think I've only done 3 so far. I meant to do one yesterday, but I forgot. So you can check those out, and if I remember, because I'm still getting into the groove of this, I will be putting some pictures on the YouTube post thing, or whatever the heck it's even called, the community post thing. So you guys will probably be seeing some pictures on there as well. I'm just not super familiar with that yet because I haven't gotten into that group. I've made like 4 posts on that as a whole, so I'll try to get into that a little bit as well. But starting things off, I actually got 3 hats, 4 hats. Yeah, I got 4 hats while I was in Japan. All different types of hats. 2 are the same, actually. But I'm going to be switching through those throughout this video. So we're going to switch to hat number 1, which is actually this beanie. And as you guys can see, it's a samurai fighting a dragon at the end. Same image on each side. But I liked it. I thought it was a cool hat. Got it at Takashita Street. I believe its name is actually the wrong way. There we go. I believe Takashita Street was the name of the street. It was in Harajuku. Insanely crowded street. Like, that street itself is ridiculous. Like, it's just insanely packed. And so this was when I was going to get everyone's souvenirs and stuff like that. And I happened to see the shop, and it was a really cool shop. It was, kind of neon, just bright colors and everything. So I was like, I'm definitely going to check that out. Went in. They had some cool stuff. They had, like, something with Powerpuff Girls and the company that owned the store, and it was really cool. It was like some unique designs for the characters, and just the whole store was actually like full of cool looking stuff. And so I'm just going around. I didn't expect to actually buy anything at this point. I was like, I already got the stuff I wanted. I knew there was like one other thing that I planned on getting, and so I was like, I just wanted to see the store. So I was walking around, and I got right to the register, and I saw the hat, and I was just like, I need that hat. And it was only 500 yen, so that's basically like $5. So I was like, that's actually a great deal, because this hat would cost like $10-15 here in the States. So I was like, I'm definitely buying that for 500 yen. That's super cheap. So I like it. It doesn't feel cheap either. So like, it feels like a normal beanie, tight knit. I don't think this will be getting much use until like September, October, like when the fall rolls in, because we're going into summer, and I'm not going to be wearing a beanie and like melting. So got the hat, even though it's summer. It just looks super freaking cool. So I like that. Starting with the little items that I got these shades at the what was it? The Tokyo Rainbow Pride Festival. Simple. Got some shades. That was pretty much it. I saw them and I was like, those look super cool. They had some silver ones as well, but I think the gold works better with the actual rainbow colors. So I ended up getting these, and that was day 2 in Japan. So I ended up picking these up at the festival, and it was just like, they look cool, so I wanted to get them. After that, we got some of the stuff that I got from the samurai photo shoot, which there will be a ton of pictures of those at some point. But I got this as like the physical picture, like the little thing. So this will most likely be a gift to my mom, because I don't need a physical picture of myself. Like that seems dumb to me. But I also I don't even take selfies really. So I don't know, I'm weird like that. I don't take pictures of myself. So that will most likely be going to my mom. But while I was there, I actually bought these playing cards, which are samurai playing cards, and they have pictures, and they all have the little text. It's both in English and Japanese, which I thought was super cool. They come in the plastic case, but they also come with like a little plastic wrapping on them, so I think that's a nice little touch. And they are Asahi cards, what they're called. It says, please enjoy using these playing cards and appreciate the classic pictures of samurai and battle drama in the medieval ages of Japan. We have devoted ourselves to create all sorts of cards, seasons cards, art cards, picture cards, and paper goods exclusively based on Japanese tastes and subjects for over 1 century. If you would like information on how to get further copies or details of our full product range, please write to, and then it's this info down at the bottom. Also, the website's there at the very bottom of the card if you want to check that out. But also, for create, there is no E. Like right there next to, to create, there's no E there. So, thought that was interesting. And then they have like this little extra card, which I actually haven't read, but it just gives information on what the cards are, I believe. So you can pause that and read it. And then it's also in Japanese, which I thought was super cool. So those are the cards. I'll show off a couple here. I think I just put that in upside down, not that it matters. These also are not exclusive to where I got them, which was like the samurai photo shoot place. I saw them at other shops, so you can get these cards. You can probably just find them online. Like, if you think they're really cool, you can probably find them online. Take a couple of these out here. So we have the Ace of Spades, which is the very first picture. Mounted warrior taking the field. Konoha school. So I think that's cool. Of course, it's super close to Naruto, with it being Konoha. It's almost just 1 letter off. And then we have Yoritomo taking his first campaign in 1180. So I do love the fact that some are vertical and some are horizontal. I think that's super cool. And then the 3 of Spades, it's Benki and Ishiwakamaru on Gojohashi Bridge. So that I think is super cool. So I haven't looked through these. Like, I think these are the only 3 that I've actually looked through so far. But I think it's cool. Like, I like art card decks. I always thought they were pretty sweet. Obviously, depending on what the art is. So I've got this. I have my God of War cards, which I got from Loot Crate, of course, and those are super cool. It's like all the concept art for the characters are on the cards. And then I also have another one from Loot Crate, which is Princess Bride cards, and those are okay. Those aren't like the craziest thing, but the God of War ones I love, and these I thought were super cool. So bought those at the Samurai photo studio, and then I also got just a little cord wrapping bracelet. They kind of had, I was in like cloud 9 when I was doing that photo shoot. Like, I don't even wear these things, but I was like, sure, I'll buy that. I'll buy everything. Why not? So that's pretty much what happened. Like, I don't even wear these, but I bought it anyway because it does look cool. I do like the color. Like, I did specifically choose this one because they had like 4 or 5 different color designs, and then they had like, this is like a 1 wrap one, but they had like the super long ones where you wrap it around twice, and I prefer like the single wrap. So I did choose to buy this one, but I was like, I don't even wear those things. Same thing with the picture. I was like, why did I even buy that picture? I was just like, sure, I'll buy it. Why not? It looks cool. But it'll at least be a good gift for my mom. She'll like that. So that's everything that I got from the photo studio. And then this is actually something that I got. I don't know if it'll show up. It's kind of hard to do it the right way where you can actually even see it. But this is actually from Studio Ghibli, as you can see right there. So I did like a museum tour. And I'm trying to do it where like you can kind of see what this film strip is. It's someone holding like a piece of fruit. These are their tickets, which I thought was super cool. So all their tickets are souvenirs, if you decide to keep it. But all of their tickets are film strips, and they're different film strips, so they're not just a box of fruit. Like, you can get different movies and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool. So I'm definitely keeping this, and eventually I'll probably end up going back, take somebody else there, and we can walk around and we'll get new souvenirs. So it's kind of a cool little experience. It's like you go to the museum You can walk around and see all sorts of Studio Ghibli stuff, and every card that you get or every ticket that you get is going to end up being a little film strip from one of the movies. So that's a cool little souvenir that they did, and it's just like everyone gets it. And I went on an official tour, and so we all went in, and like the first thing, like you see like 4 or 5 people standing like right next to the window, like, oh, what movie is it? What movie is that? So that like that's kind of the experience you get when people like first go in the museum. The first thing everyone does is see like, oh, what movie did I end up getting and stuff. So it's actually really cool. But I thought that was awesome. Some of those pictures, once again, you can check out on Instagram. I'll probably be putting those up sooner rather than later because I know people love Studio Ghibli. So it's like, no one cares about me taking pictures of random Japanese streets. So I'm probably going to put those up fairly soon. And unfortunately, you can't get pictures on the inside. So all the pictures are on like the outside of the building and stuff. Like you can't take pictures or footage of anything on the inside. But if you like Studio Ghibli, highly recommend it. I did a full tour, so they took us to a hotel that inspired some of the scenes from different movies, like different locations from the movies. And then we also went to, I want to say it was the Edo Art Tokyo Museum, I believe is the full name, or it's just the Edo Tokyo Museum, but it's like an outdoor museum where you actually walk around and look at old buildings and stuff. And some of those buildings also inspired scenes or locations from some of the Studio Ghibli films. So it was really fun. It was a really good experience. So I recommend the full tour experience because you also get 2 hours at the museum, which is admittedly more than enough time to see everything that's there, even though it was naturally crowded. Even with 2 hours, I saw everything that I wanted to see, and I still probably had like half an hour or 45 minutes left to just go around again and see some extra stuff. So I would highly recommend like the full-on tour. And we also had some extra time at the Edo Art Museum. I wish you had 2 hours there. That would have been super cool or maybe like a little bit more time because I didn't get to see the other end. But I was also taking like 100 million pictures of everything. So I saw like half of it, and I was like, crap, I want to see that other half. But I'll just go back on my own time when I get to go to Japan a little bit later. But moving on, pretty much everything else here is claw machine based for the most part, at least. So before we do that, I'm going to switch to hat number 2, which it's hard to say. I just really like this hat. I think it's super cool. And it is my Great Wave hat. So, actually, show you guys off. It says it's a limited edition. I haven't taken the sticker off. Like, I just cut the tag off yesterday. And I figured I'd leave it on just for the video. It says it's limited edition. One size fits all Japan limited edition. Of course, it was hard for me to look this up because if you look up Great Wave Cap, you'll just find wave caps, which are do-rags. So it's just like, that makes sense. I wasn't thinking that because I'm like, let me see how much this hat normally costs. And it was only 20,000 yen, which is just 20 bucks pretty much. So I thought it was a great deal. I love how it looks. Like, I didn't care about the limited edition thing. I was just like, that looks super sweet. So love the hat. I thought it was really cool. So I ended up buying it. So moving on to claw machine stuff. I'm going to start off with 2 watches. First one is Kirby. It's the Maxim Tomato, which the only real reference I can give for anyone who doesn't know it by name is it's that thing that you eat in Smash Brothers that gives you all your health back. It has the big M on it. That's the Maxim Tomato. So that's what the watch looks like. It's just a big M and then tiny little Kirby right there. The box is just normal cardboard. It has the warp star on it. And also, if you put the lid back on, it matches the warp star. So thought that was cool. Ended up winning this pretty much by random. I was trying to go for something else. I was trying to go for the other watch, actually. And I was just like, crap. I didn't realize, what the deal was because it was like on these 2 little sticks. And I was like, crap, I was supposed to basically flip it over and like roll it to the edge so it would fall. And so then I started messing with this one. And I was like, well, I'm not going to get it. And I was just like, I guess that's it. And it actually fell down. And I was legitimately like, oh. Like in the middle of this arcade, I was just like, oh, like I actually won. And so I ended up with the watch. And I was like, I didn't actually see that one coming. So ended up getting that. The second watch is going to be one of these 2. So I'll show you at the end. But it's the Super Mario Odyssey watch. And it's just, and this is way fancier. It's a tin and everything. And it's, obviously all in Japanese. You saw the seal. I think it's on this side. Yeah, so the official Nintendo seal there. This one, I fortunately got the one that I wanted, which is actually the white watch, because I think the white watch looks a bit cooler. And that's mostly because the red one is super plain to me, and it's just Mario and Cappy. And I like the white watch because it's like the full Super Mario Odyssey logo and everything. And I think the white looks better than the red. And I feel like it might go with a little bit more like white. It's not, I can't necessarily say white is neutral, but I feel like it's closer to neutral than red is. So I was like, I definitely want the white one. I think it looks cooler. I think the red on white, I think, looks better than the white on the red, as you can see with this one. But both of them have the same thing, where the moon is 12. You actually can't see, like, right at the perfect reflection. You couldn't even see the moon. But the moon is 12, which I think is sweet. And also, you can actually turn the face, which I think is pretty cool. And I assume that that is so you can set it to whatever you want, like depending on, you know, how you wear it or whatever. If you want to wear it, you know, the normal way, 12 would be facing that way. But if you wanted to have it on your wrist, instead of looking at it like this, you could have it like straight up, and 12 would be, you know, pointing towards your hand. So I was like, that's actually a cool idea. That's a cool way to have that set up. And hopefully that's balanced. And I'll have to check that next time I wear it to make sure it's like actually even, because it has so many clicks in it. It's like, okay, hopefully that's right, but I'll just test it next time I check it out. But I was definitely happy I got this one, and I tried to actually look it up online, as you do with pretty much everything that you get in a claw machine. I looked this one up online, and I think there was only one person selling it on eBay, and they were selling it for like 45 bucks for both versions of them, actually. And also, both of these are silicone watches, or silicone, however you prefer to say it. The odd thing is, I think the red watches are not as cool. Like, for both of them, I think, even though I got the red watch for this, I think the other one, which I believe was blue for the Kirby watch, the blue I think was cooler than this red one. And I think the white one is cooler than this red one. So it was like, I don't know if that's just a weird thing, or just like, I don't know. For whatever reason, the reds just weren't as cool to me. I don't know. That was just a weird thing. But glad I got those watches. And I got this for like 700 yen, I think. It took me a few tries, but ultimately I got this. And I'd say if it really is worth the $45 the person was selling it for, I'd say I kind of came out on top with that one. So I like it. I've actually worn that watch. I haven't worn the Kirby one. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that, because I just don't think it's that cool of a watch. But I really love the Odyssey one, so I actually wear that. I don't really wear watches very often, so also the face turning thing, I don't know if that's common or anything like that, but first time I'd ever seen it, because I don't wear watches. But thought that was really cool. One item that I did get that is not related to any of the claw machine stuff is actually this cup. It's a teacup, and I got it for $5 as a souvenir. And I actually got this from the very first sushi place that I went to, and it was one of the conveyor belt sushi spots. And I was like, you know what, this is the first one I've ever gone to. They just happen to have it like on the menu, like you can get it as a souvenir. And I was like, well, why not? Like, it's literally the first sushi place I'd been to, and it was the, you know, at least in Japan, obviously. It was the first sushi place I went to in Japan, and it was the first conveyor belt place. And it was actually the only one, because sushi is actually really plain over there. If you've never been, sushi is, you know, there's not fried sushi. Like, that's like a more Americanized version of sushi, which I personally think is really good. I like plain sushi as well, but considering it's plain sushi, it's pretty much the same everywhere you go. So it's just like, all right, well, I can get, you know, shrimp on rice and tuna on rice and salmon on rice, and it tastes good, but it's just it's the same, and I'm not gonna get stuff that I just don't like. So I actually ended up only going to this one place, which I don't remember the name of it. I don't know if that's the name in Japanese or anything like that, but I got this little teacup. It's a decent cup too for $5. I was like, you know, for it to be $5, that's pretty much what you would expect to pay, and it's, you know, a decent weight to it, actually, and it's a nice teacup. So decided to get this because I was like, it commemorates my very first real sushi experience in Japan, and I was like, it's the first place I went to. I didn't expect it to be the only sushi place I went to while I was there, but it happened to be the first and only place I decided to go to while I was there, and it was nice. It was really fun. The sushi was great. Tons of wasabi. That was an interesting little thing I learned. They put wasabi inside the sushi. So, like, as they're packing it, they put, like, a little bit of wasabi, like, inside the rice in the middle, or, like, right between the rice and whatever the seafood is. And so I was like, oh, man, there's no wasabi. I need a buttload of wasabi because I like my stuff spicy. And then as I was eating it, I was like, oh, I see this little dot in the middle. That's wasabi. So I was like, wasabi inside of soy sauce, which already had a buttload of wasabi. I think I put too much wasabi even in what I normally do. So, like, I was taking bites, and I was just like, like, I was breathing. I was just like, man, I hope like, my eyes started to tear up because it was just so much wasabi. But really good. Ended up getting that as a souvenir of that location. So really enjoyed that. Moving back to everything else claw machine related, we have Catwoman here. This is a Q Posket, which is QPOSKET. And it's, as you can see, it's just a really simple figure. They're supposed to be Japan limited, but, you know, like with anything, you can find it online. But that's really it. Reflection on her butt cheeks. I guess that's detail. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. It's really simple. It's just this. It's just a figure. It says cute posket on the bottom, but it's kind of hard to get it in the right way to actually see it because it's, it's all black. But yeah, it's a really simple figure. There's not much to it. So got that. I'm actually gonna switch hats again, and this I would say is probably the silliest hat that I have, which I don't. I guess you guys can determine it if it's the silliest hat or not, but it's definitely the most childish hat that I got because it's this rabbit hat and it has these bunny ears where you squeeze the things and the ears pop up, and it was $10. And I legitimately saw it like once, and I was like, I want that hat. No reason for me to have this, like, seemingly a grown man, I guess, at 26, but I was just like, nah, I want this hat, and I bought it. So glad I bought it too. I mean, look at that. That's good. That's a good $10. So moving on. Let's see what. Actually, going full anime now, and we're gonna start with My Hero Academia because I got this villain towel that I won from the claw machine, and it's got the villains and their respective colors, and I thought it was cool. I like this. I will say that the hero towel is a lot cooler. It's just a much better design. You can probably tell why, actually, if you look at it. Like, what would you say was the main reason that this towel isn't as cool as it could be? And you can just think about the hero characters. I love the bunny tail sticking out at the bottom there. But if you didn't come up with the same reason I did, my main thing was that the color scheme for this is very similar. Like, the character, it literally goes from light blue to dark blue, and then it's like pink, and then it's purple at the bottom, which is super close to like the dark blue. And it's like, okay, still looks cool. I still enjoy it. It's once again a limited to Japan, limited edition Japan item, which once again you can find online. But the hero one looks so much cooler. Like, obviously Deku's color is green. At the bottom you have All Might in yellow. Bakugo had, I want to say it was orange. Uraraka had pink. Pretty sure it was pink for hers. And I want to say it was Kirishima was in it. And if I'm remembering, Kirishima is the dude who does Harden, so that his color was red. Because I don't think it was Todoroki. I think it was characters that specifically had, like, this is the main color. And Todoroki is obviously, like, split down the middle. So I think it was Kirishima that had, that was in there as well and had red for his. But I thought it was cool. I was like, man, that's cool. Not only does it have 5 colors compared to 4, but the colors were so much, more vibrant, and they were, drastically different from each other compared to that one. So I did try to go back and get the hero one, and I was just like, nah, it costed me too much money. I already spent, way more than I should have. So I didn't end up getting the hero one, but I got the villain one, and I'm still happy that I got it because I like My Hero Academia in general. But when I first got it, I thought that it was double-sided, like it was showing like hero and villain. I thought those were the two sides of the towel, and then it was like, oh no, it's just the villain towel, and then A is the hero towel, B is the villain towel. I thought it was like A was side A and B was side B, and I was wrong, and I was like, that sucks, because I would not have gone for it if I knew it was just the villain one, because I would have been like, okay, let me look at this, look at that, and like, okay, I'll wait until they put a hero one here, and then I would have gone for that instead. But either way, I still got it, so I enjoyed it. Moving on to anime number 2, we got Pokemon. Classic Pokemon. Got Ditto here. Got these little tags, and I have they're for some game, I believe, because I have another figure that had the same little thing on it that you pop open. But yeah, got Ditto. There was a Ditto, and then there was Snorlax as well. But I was like, as much as I like Snorlax, it's probably my second or third favorite Pokemon. I was like, I already got some Snorlax stuff. I have a little Snorlax Stitch hat, which you guys can see if you go back to like my tour video when I like first got into my apartment. I wore it because I never wear it ever, so I wore it in that video just to wear it. So I have like a little Stitch hat, and then I have a little Snorlax terrarium. But I was like, you know what? I got Snorlax, so I'm gonna go for Ditto. Fortunately, I got Ditto, and I don't think it took me too many tries. I think this was also one of the few things I got where I probably came close. I was probably like at the actual level that it would normally cost to get it. I can't remember exactly how much I spent, but I'd say I kind of broke even on this one at least. So that's always a win. So got Ditto, so that was nice. And then I got Snorlax. I did end up getting Snorlax. So this actually happened because someone was at the machine already, and they played and they played and they played, and they just stopped. They stopped, and it was right at the edge. I could see it on the plastic, and I was, what the heck is that? You guys can probably hear that. I think it's the shower from my upstairs neighbor. Sometimes it just screams. Super fun, super fun. But they were playing and they stopped. And I was just walking around the arcade and I happened to look and I was like, holy crap, I can win that. And so I went and got some money and I actually got it. So it was nice because I was like, they put all that work in and it was legitimately like, it was right at the edge there. It was super close. And oddly enough, the same thing almost happened with the Catwoman thing, but someone got to the machine before me and I ended up putting in a ridiculous amount of money to win that the normal way, I guess. But with this one, it was at the edge. I was like, Snorlax is at the edge. I mean, look at him. He's super cute. And I was just like, I got to get it. I have to because it was like right at the edge. Unfortunately, I think it only cost me, once again, I think this one was maybe $5 or $6 as well. It may have been 10, maybe 10. I can't, once again, I can't remember how many tries it really took me, but yeah, it wasn't the normal cost. So I was like, sweet, somebody put in a buttload of work and they left them. So now I got them and I love it. So I don't know where they're going to go because I've got no room for any of this stuff. So I'm just going to have Pokemon sitting on my couch now because I've got no room for either of them. But I love them both. So I was like, yep, that's super fun. And that is actually everything except for the final hat, which is super far over here. And this is kind of why I said you'll have to determine what the craziest hat is, or yeah, I guess the craziest hat. Like I said, this is definitely the most childish hat that I got. But at the Samurai Museum, not to be confused with the Samurai Photo Shoot, I got this hat. And I think it's super sweet. It's also so tall, you can't even see the actual top, but it's just that, so it doesn't, it's fine. But yeah, I like this. I thought it was super cool. Like, I'm just looking at it now. It's like, yep, super nerdy, utterly ridiculous, but definitely, I'm actually have to, feel like that's dipping in a little, should be sticking out further, but I like this. I thought it was a cool hat. And actually, this is the same armor that I actually did wear, or at least it's close to it. Like, you can't really tell 100%. That's more of a flame on that one. But I was like, oh, it's cool. It's very similar to the one that I actually wore, like where it's like a big piece sticking up. So I wanted to get this because I thought it was super cool, and it is. I really enjoyed this. Samurai Museum, also really nice as a whole. It's actually a pretty cool spot. But that is officially everything as far as the items go. Also, this was the little thing I was talking about. So if anyone wants to like scan the tiny QR code there, or scan the QR code there, I have no idea what either of these do. There's also a telephone number. So in general, if you read Japanese and you know what that says, go for broke. That is yours. Yeah, I didn't cut the one for Ditto off. I just wanted to see what this was before I did it. And this was, of course, last night when I was doing the videos to check this one out. Oh, this also says made in Vietnam. But yeah, I don't know what game this goes to. But yeah, you know, free reign on that if you want to use the QR codes. Okay, so once again, camera still managed to overheat. Apparently it's just warm, 70 degrees. It doesn't feel like it's 70 degrees. I looked at my thermostat and it was like, it's 70 degrees. So that's why my camera's overheating. Plus, last night it was all on 4K, so it was super overheating. But that's pretty much the end of the video. Anyway, that's everything that I got. I also got some Kit Kat stuff. You guys can see those on Instagram because I got like, the boxes just look cool. So if you look up the strawberry cheesecake Kit Kat and the sake flavor Kit Kats, I just like the boxes. The strawberry cheesecake one is shaped like Mount Fuji, and the sake ones are actually just rectangular boxes. They just look cool to me. I think they have a nice design to them, so I decided to keep them as souvenirs. And I also kept, what was it, a Sakura, I think it's a Sakura cherry blossom soda that I got when I was at the Tsukiji Fish Market, and so I decided to keep the glass bottle for that one as well. But other than that, that is everything that I got while I was in Japan, at least for, you know, for myself. As far as the video schedule stuff goes, the Samurai Photo Shoot has its own video coming out because they let me record the whole thing. I also have a video coming out for the Robot Restaurant, which I didn't get any souvenirs at all from there, but did a bunch of video on that. That is in 4K, so that'll have its own video. Samurai Photo Shoot has its own video. And I think everything else is vlog based, so that stuff I'm still trying to figure out. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to end up doing it because I have a lot of fairly long videos where I was just kind of talking, you know, kind of summing up the end of the night. So still not sure if I'm going to use that footage or do narration over, you know, the footage that I got, the recordings and stuff like that. So I'm not 100% sure how those are going to play out. It'll still probably be like a week or two before any of that stuff even ends up coming out because I have to do all the editing on it and it's, you know, a ton of footage to go through. But yeah, that is the so schedule right now, like 1 to 2 more weeks before any of that footage actually comes out, video wise at least. But like I said, you can check out all the pictures on Instagram. There'll be a ton of pictures up. Like I said, I have like almost 2,000 freaking pictures, so definitely check that out on Instagram. Of course, if you guys have any comments or questions or anything like that, please put them down in the comment section below. Like I said, probably 1 to 2 more weeks as far as video stuff goes, as I try to figure all that stuff out. I'll be getting back to reviews as well, which I'm going to start right after I do this video, or maybe a little bit later because of the overheating thing. But yeah, that's pretty much how things are going. I'm finally back. We'll see if I keep falling asleep, then it'll still take me forever to like get the rest of the videos out. But for now, I will say I'm good. At least for today, I'm pretty solid. So that's everything that I got. Like I said, if you guys have any comments, please put them down in the comment section below. And as always, of course, thanks for watching.